Hello class, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Today we're going to be changing the oil on a 2001 Saturn SL1. I've got some of the tools we're going to need right now and I'm going to go over them real quick before we get started. So a couple optional things. I have this oil spill mat that I'm going to put down. I'm not at my house, I'm at my friend's house. So I don't want to spill any oil in the driveway. I've got a rag in case things get messy and a funnel to help me pour the oil. You don't need one, but it really helps. A filter wrench. These come in some different forms. This is one that I found when I was on my way up here. And then some things you're going to need: an oil pan to catch your oil, the oil that you're going to put back in your car, an oil filter. I'll show you what the actual filter looks like. Looks like this. And for my car specifically, there's a little rubber washer that goes around the drain plug. So you'll need that. And then you'll need a wrench, or you'll need a ratchet and a socket to take your oil plug off. You will also need, if you're in a larger vehicle, you may not need this. For my car, I need a floor jack. And whenever you use a floor jack and you're underneath your vehicle, you need a jack stand. I don't have one here, but I have a couple chunks of wood that I might use if they're the right size to support it, just for safety purposes. So first things first, my car is parked in a level area and my oil is cool. It's been parked overnight, and then I started it this morning and drove it down in the driveway, and then it's been parked down here for about an hour while I went and got the supplies that I needed to do this. And before we get started, does anyone know how often you're supposed to change your oil in your car? The standard is about every 3,000 miles. However, with newer cars and the way they work, some people recommend between 3,000 and 5,000. I typically go by when my oil light comes on in my car. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna roll my floor jack underneath my car. And the most important thing here is you want to line up your jack so that it's touching a piece of the frame of your car. So you don't want it on a moving part or a part that's not sturdy. You want it on the frame of the car. So we're gonna line it up like this, and we're just gonna start lifting it up. So we have our floor jack, and then we should be backed up by a jack stand. I didn't have a jack stand, so I used a big piece of wood as a backup safety. Obviously a jack stand is ideal, but I didn't have one. So in this case, do as I say, not as I do. The next step is going to be underneath. This right here is going to be your oil drain plug. So we've got my oil pan lined up, hopefully. That's why I've got this handy dandy mat. And now we're going to break our oil drain loose.
That was fairly easy.
I'm gonna go this way so it doesn't spill on me. And it's gonna be important to catch your drain plug when it comes out. That way you're not fishing it out of the oil pan. And now that I've said that, watch me drop it. So I got a little bit of oil in my hand, but not too bad. So that's why we brought our little towel over here. So we're just gonna let that drain until it's done draining. So this is going to be kind of hard to show you guys while I'm doing it, but I just wanted to give you a better shot of where the oil filter is going to be. So this is going to be kind of right above where your drain plug is. It's going to be right back up here. A lot of people like to take their passenger tire off to get to it to make it a little... So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the oil filter off. I have my filter wrench. Again, these come in a variety of different appearances. I will show you guys some in a different clip, but this is one that I found when I went to the store right now, so we're going to make it work. So you're going to put this on, Okay, so we've broke that free now, and we're just gonna loosen it by hand. And we've still got our pan under here because we are gonna get some oil that's gonna come out when we take the filter out. And then, once it's all loose, I'm just gonna pull it out, make sure you stand it up so it doesn't drip a whole bunch, and you can just pour the rest into your pan. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of clean up the little bit of a mess I made when I was taking that filter off, so it doesn't proceed to drip everywhere. So this is just a little trick, something that you don't have to do, but it's something that my dad taught me to do when I first learned how to change my oil. And that's take your new oil and your new filter that you're gonna put on and get a little bit of oil on your finger, and you're gonna put it on the rubber seal right here. And then you're gonna take a little bit more and you're gonna put it on the threads. Be careful not to cut yourself, they could be sharp. But this is just gonna ensure that when you go to take off your old filter, that this little rubber piece doesn't get stuck on your car, and then just to make sure that these go on really well. So now that everything's pretty much all drained, I have a slow drip right here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and move forward. I'm gonna put my new little rubber washer on here. Again, not all vehicles have them. My car does. And then I'm gonna take that. The old one is still stuck to the vehicle, so we're gonna pull that one off. And then we're gonna put this on. There we go. And then we're gonna get this tightened really well. Okay, I'm gonna wipe that all off there. Alrighty, and then now we're gonna put our new filter on, and I've already prepped it with that trick that I showed you. And then you kind of just go by feel once you get to this point to line it back up to get it on. So getting it lined up, honestly, in my opinion, is the most annoying part, but once you get it, you're just gonna tighten it all the way, as tight as you can get it. And then once you get it tight, you're all done underneath the car. So now that I've taken my oil pan out from underneath my car, I've got my makeshift jack stand moved, I'm gonna go ahead and slowly lower my car back down. Ooh, that was a little fast. And then we're gonna put some new oil in the car. So now your oil cap should already be off because you removed it when you were draining your oil. So you're gonna grab your funnel and you're gonna fill your car back up. My car takes 4 quarts. So I've got the big jug, but I only need 4 quarts, and actually out of this one, I only need 3 because I used the extra quart I had in my other one already. That way I can pour my old oil into the old jug for proper disposal. So we're just gonna take our funnel and we're going to top her off. So now once you have all your oil in there, you're gonna check your dipstick. We are right at the full line. You can't really see it because it's got new oil and it's not filthy. So that's good, but it should be right at the little full mark at the top of those hashes. So once that's done, your oil change is complete, but you're not done with the entire process. Now I'm going to pour my old oil into my old jug. That way I can properly dispose of it. Does anyone know where you are supposed to dispose of old oil? So once you're done filling your jug, you can take it to wherever you purchased your oil, whether it was AutoZone, most Walmarts, places like that will accept oil to be recycled, as well as you can also take it to a recycling center. So it's important that you're not just throwing this away in the trash.